Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be using our pattern paper to mark out our bodies or our style, and today's video we are going to be starting from our bodies because that's what is going to determine what we are going to do at the lower part of this style. So the first thing I did is to mark a straight line to serve as our starting point, and then I'll mark my bust point, which is at 8 inches, and then I marked half of my half length, which is at 13 inches. So this style is for a 9-year-old, and we are making use of 3 and let's say 4 years because we are using 2 different fabric, and because of this style it consumes more fabric. So the next thing I did is to mark half of my shoulder measurement, and I am going to go ahead and connect it to our bust point. Once I am done with that, we are going to mark our neckline, and I am marking for the width 3 inches, and then for the length I am marking at 3.5 inches. That's 3 inches by 3.5 inches, and I will go ahead and make a curve for this neckline. Then I'm going down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll connect it to our neckline. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to measure these 2 points, and I'll divide it into 2. Whatever I have there, I'll make a mark at that center, and then from there I am going in by 0.25, and I'll make a point there. The next thing I'm going to do is to mark quarter of my bust measurement. That's my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll mark it, and then I added 1.5 inches stitching allowance, or 2 inches, whichever works for you. And I'm going to go ahead and connect these points that I just made for my armhole. That's my shoulder slope, the 0.225 inches we went in with my bust point measurement. So this is our front armhole. Then I'll mark my quarter of my waist measurement, and then I added 2 inches allowance for stitching. And that's basically all for the front bodies. We are going to go ahead and cut the back one. If you haven't subscribed up to this moment, please take 1 minute to hit on the subscribe button, join the growing family. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So because the paper was torn by my baby, I'm going to flip the front one over just like you see me do, so that we must maximize the pattern paper. So once I am done pinning it, I'm going to go ahead and mark the starting point from my neckline, and then we're going to go ahead and mark the back neckline. And for this I went down by 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this and create the back neckline. Then I'm going to go ahead and replace that 0.5 inches we took out from the front neck armhole. I'm going to go ahead and replace it. If you want, please don't cut this out. If you can't replace it, don't cut it out. All you have to do is to use the same armhole to cut out the back. Once you are done, you can now trim off the front armhole. So for the back, I'm going to go up from the center back by 0.5 inches. That's half of an inch. I'm going to go up there and then slant it to meet our seam side. The reason for this is so that by the time the child wear it, there is balance on this on the gown. So you're going to go ahead and transfer this to our pattern paper, to our fabric, sorry. And this is it after I was done transferring it, and I added allowances where necessary. Remember, we've added at our seam side, so I'm not going to be adding there, but every other side have half inch all round. I'm just cutting open my zipper allowance. So this is it, and I have 2 pieces for this, one for my lining and one for my main fabric, just like you guys know in this channel. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I use the same fabric as my lining for my bodies. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to pin this down, and if you don't have enough fabric, please make use of your normal lining. Once I am done pinning the neckline, I'll stitch it down, and then I'll do the same thing for the back, placing front facing front for my lining, pin it down, and then going to my sewing machine to stitch it down. So this is it. I am done. I'm going to go ahead and make notches around the neckline and also for the back one. Once I am done, I'll turn it to the right side. At this point, if you are using the same fabric just like I am, just determine which one you want to be your front bodice or your main fabric, and the one you want it to be your lining. Once you are done with that, you're going to place front facing front, that's main fabric facing main fabric. Then you hold on to your shoulder and open it up. Just look at the video, you understand. Once you open it up, you're going to match the two neck line, seam line, and then you start pinning down. So by the time you open it up, you discover that the main fabric is at the main fabric side, and then the lining is with the lining. So once I'm done pinning this down, I will stitch it down. I'll repeat the same process for the other side so that you, for those that didn't get it the first time, you see it. So once you place it, you open it up and then hold the two pieces together, making sure that the two seam line is matching each other, and then you start pinning down. So this is it. After we are done, you can see that the shoulder area is neat, all the rough edges are inside. So we are going to go ahead and work on our armhole, and for this we're going to go ahead and fold over. I don't know how to explain this, but I'll do as much as I can. Once you fold, you're going to pick up the upper one and then pick up the other down one, and then place it. By the time you place it together, it will be front facing front, and make sure that your two seam line is matching, and then you start pinning down. So you're going to pin from one side of the armhole to the other. Once you are done, you're going to go ahead and stitch it down, and after stitching it, you're going to make notches around it because it has curve, and then pull it out from the front side. You can see the armhole how it's looking neat. If you haven't seen the video of my ball gown, please check it out. It has every professional aspect that you want in a ball gown. You're going to love it. So I'm going to repeat the same process, and I'm going to shut up my mouth so that you can watch the video and get it right if you didn't get it the first one. So I am done with that as well. I just pulled this out, and you can see the two armhole is well tucked in, well stitched. If you have your light at this moment, please go ahead and iron your pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the two seam side. So this is the fabric we are going to be using for the first layer of the gathers, and I'm placing my tape at the half length and then mark my measurement, but I'm taking 6 inches away from the hemming upward, and remember to add ½ inch at the waistline area, and then ½ inch, in fact ½ inch on both sides, so that you can join it to the waistline and then to the other side. So I went ahead to run stitches and then gather it as well. So this is my main fabric. I am done stitching the two sides, and then this is the piece. I am done gathering it as well according to my waist measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open this up, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. And just like I've always mentioned in this channel, please do not gather your zipper allowance so that it doesn't make your zipper bulky. Start your gathering after your zipper allowance. So I'm going to stitch this down, but I am leaving the center open. So the stitching is just at the back bodies, at the back pieces. That's where it is. So we are going to go ahead and slant this place open so that we can be able to attach our ruffle. And this, I just went in from my seam side by 4 inches, and then I'm going to slant open. I'm not going to extend it to the gathers. Once you cut that gathers up, all your work is going to lose. It's going to scatter off. So for now, I'm not cutting it open. And then from the edge of this, I went up by 3 inches, and then I will make a curve there. The higher your measurement, the more open is going to have. And then from the other side, I went up by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. You don't want it to be too open, unless you just have the mind that you want it to be too open. But for me, I am just doing not too much, not something too much. So this is the pieces I'm going to be using for the other step. And what I have here is double of the upper side. I don't know if you understand this. So I just hemmed it, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the bodies. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section and I'll get back to you on it. So I'm going to be using small plates to attach this to the members, and once I get to this place, I'll continue till I get to the waistline, and then from the other side I'm going to continue with it. So I decided to cut this open, but before cutting it open, I'm going to go out to my sewing machine and stitch down the 2 sides of these gathers. Once I am done stitching it to hold the trays in place, I cut it open, so you can see it did not loose. So by the time I want to attach my ruffle, it's easier for me to do that. So this is it after I was done attaching it. I'm sorry if I am rushing. This is late already. This is about 10 p.m. and I'm tired already. So if you have any question, leave it in the comment section and I will clarify it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to overlap these 2 front pieces. As you can see the way I'm overlapping it. Once I am done, I'm going to as well do front facing front with the bodies and then stitch it down. So this is it after I was done. I am going to go ahead, and you can see how it's looking. It's coming together. We're almost done with the pieces. You can see how it is. If you want it to be more open, just like I mentioned, please go up more for yours, but for me, I don't want it to be open. So the next thing I'm going to do is to close up the zipper allowance and then attach my zip. But before attaching the zip, we are going to attach that design on the neckline, and for the length of this, I have about 12 to 15 inches, and then for the width of it is 5 inches. Then I folded it to turn it to the right side. So once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and plait this. You can see the way I am plating it. It's like one plate is facing each other. Once I stitch that one, I'll make another plate facing each other and then stitch it down. So this is it after stitching it down. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. If you haven't subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and share my videos to family and friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.